Good morning, this is Ms. Cummings. This is topic 4-5, more problems with constant rate of change. Kind of doing the same thing we did with 4-4, building a table, writing a function, and solving equations. During a local triathlon competition, Jay finished the swimming portion 5 minutes before his nearest competitor, Bill. Therefore, on the next portion, bicycling, Jay got started riding 5 minutes before Bill. Jay averaged 0.25 miles per minute on his bicycle, while Bill averaged 0.3 miles. So here's my per and my per for my variables. My input is going to be my number of minutes, because miles per minute, because per means divide or multiply, and then this is y over x, and so the output is miles. Okay, so in 0 and so we're dealing with Bill, and Bill averaged 0.3, and that would be his time. But J would be 0.25 times, he actually has 5 more minutes in his pocket. So same units of minutes. So we're going to compare them. And in order to compare them, we have to be at the same time. So then we have 1 minute, and 0.3 times 1, and 0.25 times 1 plus 5. Notice these ones are the same, these zeros are the same. Continue building. 0.3 times 2, 0.25 times 2 plus 5. And so for x minutes, Bill is doing 0.3x, because that's what's changing and that's the variable. And for J, it's 0.25, and this is what's changing, so it's x plus 5. So now it says write some functions. And remember that when we had g of x and f of x, this is where that's going to come in handy, because if we're talking about Bill, instead of saying y equals 0.3x, we're going to say Bill of x equals 0.3x, and write a function for the miles J has ridden, and it is J of x equals 0.25 times x plus 5. Who is ahead after Bill has been writing for 8 minutes? So we want Bill to be 8. So we're going to do Bill of 8. And that would be 0.3 times 8, which is 2.4. And we're comparing, so now we're going to do J of 8. Is 0.25 times 8 plus 5, which is 3.25. And so and remember that the output is miles. So the output up at the top, the output was miles. So this is 3.25 miles, and this is 2.4 miles. So J is ahead. How many minutes after Bill started will each have to ride before Bill catches up with Jay. So we want them to be equal. We want Bill to equal Jay. So we're going to be putting 0.3x is equal to 0.25 times x plus 5. That's when they would be ahead, and that 5 minute would be taken care of. And so 0.3x equals, I distribute the 0.25 to the x, and I distribute it to the 5. I subtract 0.25x and subtract 0.25x, and I'm going to come over here, and 0.05x equals 1.25. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.05, and divide this by 0.05. And x equals 25. And x was, the label was minutes. The next problem in the next scenario is Olivia and Chad were adjacent typewriters while practicing typing. Olivia averages 45 words per minute, while Chad averages 36 words per minute. When Olivia started typing, Chad had already typed 90 words. So he's slower, but he kind of had a head start. That's what that means. So, there we go. Trying to get my paper settled. Olivia averaged 45 words per minute. There's my per, so it's words per minute. So that's my y, and that's my x. Okay, so I'm going to input minutes. My input is going to be minutes. So it's 0. Okay, so Olivia started, and she did 45 times. That means this is where the head start actually comes into play. And then Chad did 36 times 0 plus 90. And then on the first minute, she had 45 times 1, and he had 36 times 1 plus his 90 he started with. And then this is 2 and 45 times 2, and he does 36 times 2 and the 90 he started with. And you could continue making the table for as long as you wish. As soon as you see the pattern, we could do x. When I input x, so it's 45 times x, and then to find out what Chad did at the same time, it would be there. So then it says after 5 minutes, how many words had each of them typed? Olivia is you don't really want to do O of 5 because that O for Olivia would mess it up. So we're going to just go back to F of 5 equals 45x. And Chad, you can do C of 5 equals 36. 5 plus 90 equals 45 times 5, which is 225 words. And then this one is 180 plus 90, which is 270 words. So after 5 minutes, we could have done this where we could have completed the table and done the 3, the 4, and 5, and we would have still gotten the same answer. Okay, how many minutes passed before Olivia typed the same amount? Same means equal. So I'm going to do 45x is equal to 36x plus 90. Basically, it says when does his head start be null and void. Minus 36x minus 36x. 9x equals 90. Divide by 9. X equals 10 minutes. So on 4-5, you're going to have more problems to set up, fill in building a table, writing a function, writing the number of cookies, writing equations, and then figuring out when they are equal.